Once again, we are back shining with KimchiRednecks. Right, so we have done in the past several different whiskeys. We've tried out our hand at some regular corn whiskey, some multi-grains.
We've even made a rice corn whiskey.
Yeah, that one didn't turn out too great. We've still got to work on that.
We're working on the recipe on that still.
We've also done some apple brandies, some other fruit stuff. Today, we've decided to try and combine some stuff and see what happens. So we are going to make an apple corn whiskey. So we've got
Apples.
Apples, obviously. Two kinds, actually, somehow. We got
Korean and Honeycrisp.
Right. We've got
corn.
About 12 pounds of corn here. And about 2 kilograms or 4.5 pounds of malted barley. So
what are we going to do, Chuck?
The Calypso.
I don't know the Calypso.
Neither do I, so we're going to make some whiskey.
Okay.
But
I don't even know what is the Calypso.
It's a dance of some sort.
Okay.
So, for those of y'all keeping track, that is roughly a 75-25 split on the grains. And then we've got apples here, which we are going to core to get the seeds out, because apple seeds are not good for you. And then we are going to slice them. Probably not going to run them through the food processor this time, but we are going to slice them on a little kitchen gadget thing we got, make them little thin slices so that they'll soak up and with our luck, probably dissolve and just turn into sediment at the bottom of the bucket. But that's good, because if it breaks down that far, that means there's like nothing left of it. We've got all the apple out of it. So I'm going to break out the Digiboil this time, because I don't feel like getting the pots out and doing this, that, and the other. And we're going to try the grain basket that we've never used so far.
I mean, we might as well. We have one.
We have it. We might as well use it. So we're going to put the grain basket in there. We're going to dump all these in the correct order. We're going to put the corn in. We're going to get it up to temperature. We're going to let it sit and gelatinize. We'll let it cool down to add the barley, which you do, I think, 130, 150, somewhere around there. I'll figure it out. And then we'll add the stuff for the grains, the amylase and all that stuff. And then, once we add it to the bucket and we get ready to do the yeast and all that, we'll have sliced up the apples and we'll throw that in there. So, here we go. Mayhem, are you here to give us an update from the chaotic kitchen? Okay, let's see what's going on. So, we have gelatinized our corn. It is currently at 74 degrees Celsius. I have no idea what that is. I'll put a conversion on the screen for you. But it's got to cool down to about 150 degrees Fahrenheit before I can throw the barley in it. So here is what I was mentioning before, the little slap chop looking mandolin thing. Slices apples up real good. Yes, Melissa over there has had bad experiences with a mandolin before, so she likes this one because she doesn't have to stick her fingers in it. Is you still here? Is you still giving updates? See, May says, I tasted the apples and the apples are good quality. There was 12 of them. We put 12 apples in there. Thank you for the count, May. How about them apples? And we are using Korean, what is this? Fresh red apple juice. So that's our base there, and then we're gonna obviously use the sparge water from this, and we will ferment on the grains. So I'm probably gonna try and take this whole mash barrel thing and see if I can put just the whole thing right in there. We'll let you know. All right, everybody, quick update on the mash. It's been going for probably about a week. I would like to point out that the starting gravity on it seemed a little bit low. It was about 1.04, I think it was. So I did melt about, I'd say 2.5 pounds of sugar in with some water and poured it in there to bump it up. But also some of that was in the fruit that was sliced up and stuff that we added in. So I'm pretty sure there's some of the sugar that gets released, you know, pretty much as it's going, and not all up front, like when you're doing a sugar wash or a grain where you gelatinize it and all the starch comes out. I think the fruit sometimes takes a little longer for the sugar to extract. So there's that. So we had at least 1.05 or so starting gravity when we started. But now we got our bucket here. Put my stirring spoon down. It's hard to do this one-handed. Now, I have never tried an apple corn mash before, but you should smell this. The smell of that corn and barley and this apple breaking down in this. Got to punch my cap down here. We got some bubbles, so we're still cooking right along here. But if this tastes anywhere as good as this smells, I am not going to be upset with that at all. Okay, although I know better, I don't know why I didn't do it this time. I fully am a proponent of the idea that if you do a grain-based mash, you should use one of these brew bags as a filter bag, because now I'm on the back end of it and I'm trying to get the wash out, and I can't use my auto siphon because it clogs up immediately. I got maybe half a bucket out of here, and now I'm hand dipping grain out of here to put in this so I can squeeze the grain through the bag to get what's left out of that. And then I'm probably gonna have to filter those through another bag to make sure I don't have a lot of residuals in it. So think ahead. A little bit of pre-planning will save you a lot of work on the back end. Use a filter bag. Keep your shit contained.
Are you really showing them how junky this room has become yet again? This is our storage space.
All right, and we're back with our latest mash, which I'm calling harvest mash. It's corn and apples and carrots, and do we have anything else in it that we mixed in? So, mainly corn and barley and apple base. We mixed in a little bit of leftover carrot brandy just for, you know, carrots. Everybody loves carrots. So we did a strip and run the other day. We came out with almost on the dot, 7 liters of alcohol out of that for low wines, which are in the pot, and they are right at 80 proof, which is a number you want to be under so that you do not become combustible. Even though we're not using open flames, never tempt fate. So we got a little bit of water to bring it down. And just because we want to get a little more apple flavor, we've got some apple juice from the store. And I've got, oh, that's heavy, some leftover mash that didn't go in the thing, which we got a little bit of lacto on it. And it's even in the leftover mash here. It keeps growing. So I'm going to skim that off the top. And then I'm going to pour a little bit of this mash in here. I'm also going to pour some of the mash in the thump keg. And we've got some more apple juice, some applesauce, and some sweet corn that we're going to warm up on the little portable stove here and kind of pre-warm the thump keg with it. That way, when steam starts flowing through, it doesn't take so long to heat up the thump keg. Now, I'm going to quit boring y'all with the details and get to it. And we're back with the apple corn, or as I've been calling it, harvest liquor. So, don't remember if I mentioned it in the previous thing, but when we did the spirit run on this, yeah, stripping run, spirit run, flavor run, whatever you call it, we took some of our roasted carrot brandy and decided to mix it in with it because apples, corn, carrots, it's all stuff you get at harvest.
We also took some of the rice corn tails we had.
Yeah, we used some rice corn tails in the thump keg to proof it up a little bit. So we got, I think, right at 5 liters, so with almost 1.5 gallons.
At 135 proof.
At 135, 140 proof, somewhere in that range. So, at 135 plus proof,
it's hot.
It'll send your nose hairs. So we, by the power of the internets, are going to go figure out what to proof it down to. We're going to proof it down to maybe between 80 and 100 proof. See what it tastes like.
I think before proofing, I think we should age it. I think put it on the wood. Let the wood do a little bit of work, because sometimes the wood pulls out some of the strong.
Well, we're going to taste it first to see what it's like, and then we'll decide what we're going to do.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm kind of leaning towards like an Amberana, which has like the cinnamon notes that it adds to it, and maybe the oak, the white oak, because that adds a little vanilla sometimes. That's because I think those notes would be really nice in that.
Well, we haven't tasted it yet, so you don't know.
But that's what I think. I'm thinking about what's in it. I'm thinking about how much I like the oak in the corn whiskey and how much I like the amberana in the apple brandy.
Well, you might be right. We're going to taste it before we flavor it.
Fine.
All right, so did a little mason jar alchemy. At 100 proof, it was still quite hot. We brought it down to, what did we bring it to? 80.
We brought it down to 80.
We brought it down to about 80, and it's got one of those scents that's like a liqueur taste. It smells like somebody thought about keeping corn and apples in the same room. There's a little quick note up front of some sort of flavor, but it rolls through really quick, and then there's not really any other flavor. It's just kind of alcohol at that point. But it brought the burn on the alcohol down to the point where it's not singeing your tongue.
All right.
But
I got an idea.
This definitely is going to need some time on some wood.
I got an idea. Let's leave it at 135.
Okay.
Let's put some amberana for the cinnamon.
And cinnamon, and it's already kind of burny.
Watch. Amberana for a little bit of cinnamon. And white oak for the little bit of vanilla. Because both of those will accentuate. We like oak, what it does to corn whiskey. We've always liked that. We also really like amberana and what it did to our apple brandy. So put the two together, and that could be a very nice combination for both of them.
Okay, so a little time in the jar will probably help bring that burn down a little some too. So
The harvest is not over.
toasted oak and maybe
a
a
little
little nub of char to help.
You do like to put the nub of char.
That little nub of char helps. It does. It helps the flavor.
I like that a lot.
So, yeah, we'll get that together. We'll put it in a little spice bag so we can throw it in there and not have to worry so much about floaties in our liquor, because it's a very clear jar liquor.
It's a pretty jar.
It's a pretty clear jar liquor.
Then we have a nice amount of it too.
I got a pretty good amount. So if nothing else, it'll be a great base for something else.
I mean, even if we have to back flavor it to get a little more apple into it, and that's what we decide to do, it's still going to go well.
Yeah, it's almost, well, no, apple season. We've just passed apple season. Apple season's in the fall. Damn it.
Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with leaving it until apple season if we got to go back to apple season. We don't know where we're going to... Look, we're going to age it, okay?
It's going to get aged, and it may possibly get flavored at the end. So this video might be a while.
It could be a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
For now, it's not where we want it. So since it's not where we want it, and just tempering it down did not put it where we want it at all.
No.
We want to try and see if we can accentuate some flavor, and I think that's the safest way to do that.
Right, so wood and time. Boom, we're back. I'm taste testing the harvest whiskey, or whatever it is we were calling it. And so we had the amberana and the charred oak in it. As you can see, it's got a pretty nice color to it. Now, it is 135 proof, so I'm going to remember not to drink that straight so it doesn't blow my face off. Now, we're going to start with 2 cc's of that and 1 cc of that. So that should take about a third off of that. Which should give us somewhere in the range of 90, 95 proof. Well, you can smell the corn and apple in it. At least that part came out right. I wasn't too impressed with the way it was before. We're going to see how the amberana helped it or not. So the amberana added a little bit of almost peppery, spicy note to it. I can taste alcohol. I can actually taste the amberana, the wood in it. The corn and the apple kind of muted in the background. So let's try a half and half. That should bring us down to about 75 proof. See how that affects a difference in the flavor. I'm actually now getting an apple-y aftertaste to it. Watered down the nose a little bit. The smell's not as strong. Yeah, that watered it down too much. That kind of soured the flavor on it a little bit. So around 90, it's not bad. It's got a pretty decent apple-y aftertaste, but it's got a little bit of a sharp bite to it. Not sure what we'll do with this one. We might let it age a little bit. If we don't like the way that it, if we still don't like the way it did, we may mix it in when we do a sugar mash through the reflux column and see if we can't at least save the alcohol out of it. I mean, we do have like 5 liters of 135 proof alcohol here. I think if we run that through the reflex column with some sugar wash, we can get some good neutral alcohol out of it. I might let some of it age a little bit though and see how it does. At 90, it was not bad actually. It wasn't great, it just wasn't bad. And I like better. I like great. You should always strive to be great. So, probably going to do that. I might pour off about a quart of this just to keep it and let it age and see how it does. We will probably re-distill the rest of it through with something else to bolster up some alcohol. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Not one of our best, not one of our worst. So we will see y'all next time. Like, subscribe, do the internet stuff. We'll see y'all around. I've got a